Hey, welcome to episode 2 of the vlog. I'm back again. I had a lot that I didn't cover in the last vlog, so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna start again. I've just uploaded it last night to YouTube, so I thought, right, I'm gonna start back into it again so that I can show you everything that I entered in my local agricultural show, which is Ballymoney show. My knitwear, that is, to show you what got placed and what didn't get placed. And I also want to share my big secret, my big reveal, so I'm going to be doing that in this episode. And hopefully you'll see a loaf of sourdough bread here. I am seriously hoping that you will. So my things to finish my sourdough will be coming in a couple of days, so that should be happening soon. I'm very excited. Brought my notebook. Oh, if you watched the last episode, I showed you my Marl sweater. This is the swatch I did for it, although my original, or the colours that I'm actually doing, are different. Right, had a little change of position there. I thought the light was better on this side. So I'm just going to take you through my agricultural show entries and tell you what got placed and what didn't get placed, and why I think that happened. So the first class was a hand knitted tank top in a double knit and weight. So I entered my cutting edge vest. It's a pattern by Albina McLaughlin. I used 2 strands of hearth sock and held them together to make a DK weight. This pattern was very interesting to knit, and the armholes and the neck was both steeked. I'll just pop it on and show you kind of what it looks like. In this class there was also a Fair Isle vest, which got second place, I think, and another vest with a bit of Fair Isle on it, and it got first place. I actually thought out of them all, the other Fair Isle vest was probably the best, so I'm not sure why that didn't get placed. Not that I'm judging them. If I was, that's what I would have done. Although I kind of suspect that perhaps they didn't know this was steeked. So that would have made it seem a lot less impressive. Of course you would know if you looked at it, but unless you had a good look at it, you wouldn't be able to tell. So this one didn't get placed, and that's why I think it didn't get placed. The hand knitted adult jumper or cardigan, I put in my Evergrey sweater by the Petite Knitter. This is knitted in Jameson's or Jameson and Smith, I never remember. The wool brokers, whichever one they are. And as you can see, this got placed third. I had to do a little bit of de-pilling on this because I've wore it quite a lot, but it's looking really well now. And so I'll explain about the jumpers in a second. I also entered my Rodari, which is a classic sweater of mine, and it actually got placed first. It's knitted in Lope, and actually out of this sweater and this one, this was the easier one. Much easier. It had no long floats, it has no short rows, it is just very easy. So but I think the colours are very eye-catching, which is why I think that this got first place, and the Evergrey got third place. And second place was a lacy cardigan, I think it was. So yep, definitely deserved to be in second place. So I've got first place, I've got third place, and I also entered in the same category my Hive Knits the First Sweater. which did not get placed. I would say this is quite a laborious knit, and also the fisherman's rib was tricky enough. But yeah, no place for this one. So there's 3 more categories. The next one is a hand knitted baby's garment, and I entered my Lizzie Pinafore, a pattern by Gudrun Johnson, and the yarn is by Marie Wallen, British Breeds. So as you can see, it didn't get placed. I thought I had a good chance with this one actually. It was surrounded by kind of baby cardigans in pastel colours, so maybe that's more what they were looking for rather than a dress. But I thought it was really good. She hasn't actually worn it that much. She could wear it now, to be honest. It's perfect because it can go from like a dress to a little t-shirt, or like a little vest. So yep, didn't get anything for that. Now this is the thing, I was like, if I'm going to win a prize, it'll be for this. So you can imagine how gutted I was when I didn't win a prize for this one. This is my I can't say it, sourdough mini. Sorry, I'll be totally butchering your pattern name. This was probably one of the most complicated things I've ever knitted. I mean, it wasn't complicated, but it had a lot of techniques in it, and I thought, yeah, this will definitely win a prize. How cocky am I? So this was under the class hand knitted child's garment. So the body was knit in one piece, and then it was staked at the neck opening and at the armholes, and then the arms are attached by grafting, and then you have to pick up stitches here on the diagonal for the collar, which was quite tricky. Well, it wasn't tricky, but it was quite interesting, and it has this lovely little collar. It's obviously all over colour work, and I was really proud of this. But yeah, this did not get placed, which I was surprised about. The thing that got first place was a sweater, and it had like an all over texture. It was like honeycomb or something like that. So I was like a bit gutted about that I didn't get a prize for this one, because this is the one I really wanted to get a prize for. Next thing was the class of any other item up to 180 inches square. So I entered my Ferny Corner shawl. Which I thought maybe had a good chance. But again, it didn't get placed. What was it with? It was, I can't remember what got first place in this category. No, I don't remember. But I think it was maybe the only shawl, so they maybe didn't know what to do with it. And yep. So this is my own design, the Ferny Corner shawl pattern, available on Ravelry and my website, and there's still kits available on my website in different colours, and I'm going to be updating my website with more kits in July, or maybe before July. So yeah, obviously I was pleased with how this turned out, and I think you'll like it too, because like quite a lot of you have knitted it, bought it and knitted it. So next up, in the same category, up to 180 inches square, was I entered a pair of scrappy socks. These ones that now have a lot of debris on them. I had I finished them a while ago, but I didn't weave in the ends for a long time. They're actually mismatched, but the same sort of colours. And I can reveal that I got second prize for these. So I'm quite pleased with that, but I did enter them. And so that means I got a first, a second and a third, which is great. I do suspect that maybe, I don't know if there's a limit on, you know, can one person get more than 3 prizes? Probably not, I would imagine. Maybe that's very cocky again of me, but I'll have to come up with something even better for next year to see if I can do like a sweepstake. Win all the prizes. So that was quite fun doing that. I've never done that before, and it was definitely an experience. And I should have took photos of how they were displayed at the show, but I forgot, sorry, and my phone had no room on it. No storage room on it. So yeah, so now it's time to reveal my big secret. Here we go. So my big news. I'm going to have a new studio. You thought I was going to say I'm going to have a baby, didn't you? So yeah, I've been working in my home studio for a long time. It's a converted bedroom and ensuite. This is a gross bit of my garden. We all have to have them. And recently I've just really been feeling the urge to see if I could find a space with a green view. And we didn't really have any room to do anything in our own garden. So I successfully managed to persuade our neighbour to sell her old stable block to us. She calls it her garage, and so we've now purchased that, and it's going to be my new studio. So I'm going to give you a little tour of it as it is. I'll pop in some photos here of what it looked like before we cleared it, and I'm going to show you some photos of the visualisations my husband did. He's an architect, and I hope to do renovation vlogs throughout the summer and autumn, and I really would like to have it finished before the big kind of festive update in November. So I'm going to show you now just what it looks like and how it's just like a little, like, I just hop over the garden fence and I'm at the studio. So here we go. So this is going to be my new studio space. And we are also taking over this part of the garden and making it beautiful as well. So let me show you what's been happening here. I think I have a photo right from the start. So far we had to clear the whole thing. This is going to be a door. This was a little window, and then we took it down to the floor, so it'll be a big picture window. And I'll take you in the door. So up until like a few weeks ago, there used to be a wall across here, so we took that down, and basically this is still full of stuff. This is going to be my store. I'll show you from the other side. There's going to be a big run of units down here. This is going to be a window, but not the whole way down. Here is going to be my sink area, and above that there's going to be like a little porthole window. This is going to be a huge window because basically I'm absolutely desperate to have some green space, because no window in our house looks directly to the garden, so we have no view out any window. So I'm really super excited to have that. I just think it will really enhance my dyeing and my creativity and give me a really nice sense of calm and order when I create yarn for you all. So this area here is actually going to get knocked through. And we're extending about out to where this chair is, and that's going to be my office and packing area. So the vision for this part of the garden is to have a wee tiny seating area here, then a big flower bed that extends from where that seat is to probably where the end of the grass, where the grass is long. I want it to be like a Monet painting. I want it to feel really soft and I want it to look good in winter, so I'm going to have to think about the planting for that. On this side I'm going to have, I think, 6 or 9 raised beds, with at least half for dye plants and the other half for more vegetables. That's quite important and it's a part of the business I kind of want to cultivate and learn more about. And then in the middle there'll be a little path going down, and this will be, at the bottom, it's going to be like a little orchard, although I was half thinking today, wouldn't it be really nice to have an area for like soft fruit, you know, like have some tay berries, have some more raspberries, some autumn fruit and raspberries, and then I want a washing line down here to dry my clothes on. Not entirely related, but so yeah, this area and our garden, it'll feel like there's different rooms, and I'm really like into that idea, and I want this studio to feel like it and the outside are really connected, and that I can just step outside at any point and just like breathe and feel calm and enjoy the lovely trees and flower beds and everything. So right now that's where we're at. I'm going to put in some visualizations here as well. And if you have any questions, you can let me know, or any suggestions. I'm interested to hear. I hope you enjoy coming along for the renovation vlogs. Tagged on to the end of this episode will probably be the rest of my sourdough journey, my first loaf. So stay tuned for that, and I'm going to talk you through the visualizations a wee bit now. This is the visualization of my new studio, and I've got the architect here, my husband, Tim. He has a company called Coracle Architects. I'll put a link to it below in case you need any architectural work done. And he is going to chat us through these visualizations here. So do you want to talk to us about this first one here?
Yeah, this is just an aerial view of the proposed studio. So obviously at the moment there's an existing shed. The idea was to create a nice workshop in a kind of garden setting. So the design of the studio has been driven largely by the relationship with the garden below, which you can kind of see. We've got the kind of basic arrangement is we've got the kind of workshop area, which will have a little courtyard for having a cup of tea out the front, and there's a new office extension at one end of the existing studio. Then the next sort of zone in terms of the landscaping, there's a dye garden and a sort of a wildflower dye garden as well. And then the next step down, there's going to be an orchard and some space for our daughter to play in without her being able to escape.
So tell us about this flower bed that's right in front of this window in the office, because we had a lot of conversations about that and we felt it was like very important. So I described it as I wanted it to be like a Monet painting.
Yeah, so the two big windows that you can see, so there's the door and the side light. That's the kind of main entrance into the studio, but there's two big windows left looking down the garden, and my idea was that those windows would look like sort of they'd be composed in such a way that when you look out it feels like sort of painterly, I suppose. So the landscape design has been driven by the position of those existing and proposed openings. So the actual planting, what I thought about doing in there, I don't know, it was going to be just basically a load of herbaceous, lovely plants that you can look down at, which is in stark contrast to looking at the wall that you look at the moment when you're down.
Yeah, I currently look at a wall when I'm down, so I don't get much fodder for my creative thoughts from the white wall.
Yes, the middle window is looking from that's the main dining area, and then the extension window, that'll be Emma's office. So it'll be looking straight down into the middle of that bed of sort of mixed grasses and shrubs and herbaceous planting. And
there's a little thing that's not on the drawing, that the little porthole just right in the middle.
Yeah, which is going to be... so there's another window that I didn't really want to put in because it just detracts from the aesthetics, but Emma's sink for doing all the rinsing is between the door and the middle window, and originally I didn't have a window there, but Emma's persuaded me to put a window in. But because I thought it would detract so much aesthetically, the way we'll manage that is there'll be a hatch made with the wood cladding, so when Emma's not at the sink, we can put down the hatch so it looks like it's like a, how would you describe it?
A porthole.
Well, it's not exactly a porthole.
Like a tiny barn door.
Yeah.
Something
like a kind of a hatch of some sort.
Yeah, a little hatch.
That'd be nice anyway.
Hopefully you won't really notice it. And then this is a little shot of the studio at dusk, just to show what it looks like at night. It's south facing, so there'll be nice light coming in. Yeah,
during the day, and then in the morning, that little courtyard space will be in the sunshine.
A little sun trap.
So it's kind of your 11s sort of thing.
Sounds good. Let's talk about the inside now. It's going to be a little bit different from this, isn't it? Because we're going to put in the roof lights. Three roof lights. But do you want to just talk us through how you came to this design, or why did you?
Yeah, well, so it's quite a long, narrow space. There's still some. This is slightly changed from, or the design's now slightly changed from what this shows, but so obviously that doesn't show the wee window above the sink, and we're not gonna do those drying racks above all of the above the benching, because we're gonna use the spin dryer, I think.
Yeah, I have a spin dryer, and then I'll just use regular clothes horses that I can fold up and put away. And actually you could put them
outside if it's sunny in the courtyard.
Well, that's not really good for the...
Oh, why? For the colour fastness?
Yeah.
Oh,
fair. But anyway, I have enough space to set that up where I need it, but I kind of wanted it to be able to be folded away, so we decided to change that.
So the kind of basic arrangement of the space is there's the entrance door, which you can sort of see to the back of that illustration. You come in, there'll be a big store into the right immediately as you walk in, which will have all of the yarn that's been undyed yarns, and maybe some dyes and spare pots and all that kind of thing. And then there's the main dyeing space, which has got space for maybe like 13 or 14 pots, which will give you a bit more flexibility in terms of what way you can do them.
Exactly. And then in below there's space to store more pots, which is really useful. The way I kind of do my rotation is like I'd mordant one day and then I dye the next day, so the yarn's kind of sitting overnight in the pots always, so I kind of need that extra space that's not on the floor to have a good workflow. Is there anything else you want to say about that space?
Yeah, well, it's pretty utilitarian. So it's an existing blockwork building that we're externally insulating and cladding, and then the roof is being properly insulated. We're adding some roof lights as well, which aren't shown in that.
And for the heating, we're doing underfloor heating and then tiles.
Yeah, which is because there's problems getting gas and electricity down there, so it was going to be an electric underfloor mat.
It's just going to be the easiest option, really.
Yeah. But it doesn't really need that much heating, so you probably wouldn't have to have it on.
No, I wouldn't have it on very much at all.
It's going to be insulated anyway, so...
Yeah, which is not like our house.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a proper extraction system to get rid of all the steam and stuff from the dyeing. And then just some nice track lighting, and then just some nice tiles, and that's it. It's quite simple, like kind of wipeable space. And then this next image is
This is the office, my little peaceful space. I'm going to come and drink tea and knit, and after I finish my day's work I'm going to enjoy a little sit down here and a little look out this window. So do you want to tell us a bit about the design on this?
So the design, basically it's all focused towards this big south facing window, which will just be filled with foliage, which we'll plant all the way down the garden. So it's kind of a controlled view, which was your sort of money painting idea.
Yeah.
So the feel of the space is slightly different from the main studio in that this will all be plywood lined, birch ply, with some nice lights, and I think you were maybe hoping to get somebody to do some nice lights for you or something.
Yeah, I'm commissioning a ceramicist to make 2 light shades, because I wanted them to be really beautiful. And then all my dye yarn is going to be stored here on the left. These are built-in cupboards for yarn, and so that'll all be stored away safely, away from moths. It'll probably be secondary. They'll be in possibly boxes inside the plywood storage, and then I have room up above for like my dye books and bits and pieces up there.
Trinkets.
And
then there's like a big desk space for that function as your office, and it can also act as a kind of an extra space whenever you're doing your packing.
Yeah.
And then there's also a packing desk at the end of the studio beside the main dyeing space.
So, and as well, I feel like this chair here is of great importance. It needs to be a chair that I can knit in and a chair that I can do office work in. So, I need to find something really good for that. So if you know somewhere that I can find a really nice chair that would be perfect for either of those things, or, well, ideally both, you can let me know in the comments. So thanks Tim for talking us through this these visualizations that you did, and stay tuned for more renovation vlogs.
Oh, threw my pajamas on, Mickey. I love how spontaneous you are at days. This is what I feel like I've got a wee bit of spontaneity back in my life. Good.
This is the start of it. We have just been swimming in the sea.
Where is it? Dunseverick Harbour?
Yes, look at that scenery.
Absolutely stunning!
So nice. How would you sum up the swim?
Refreshing,
Well,
recharged,
yep.
renewed,
Revived.
Reset, and full of good chats.
Full of good chat, yes. It's a Saturday morning, and yesterday I started making my first sourdough loaf, and I didn't have that much confidence in it because I felt that I didn't maybe use the starter when it was at its peak yesterday, because I got there was a meltdown etc in the house and it went on for a while and the house was a bomb. So anyway, somehow in the middle of all that I managed to put this loaf together, and it's been proven overnight, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like because I can't believe what I came downstairs to. I'll show you a close-up. This is Elaine Food God's method. And wow, look at the bubbles in this. Amazing. I'm gonna have it ready for lunchtime today, I think, so we'll see how it turns out, but so far it's looking really good and I'm very pleased, so fingers crossed it works out, and I'll bring you along for the grand opening of because I have one of these baking tin things to bake it in. So we'll let you know how that goes. Are you excited for the sourdough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Me too. This is it, the moment of truth. I have no idea what's going to come out of this. I have a feeling it might have spread a bit, so I'm not sure if it will have worked, but I'm going to take it out anyway and see what's here. I'm not feeling very confident. Wow. Oh my goodness, it actually worked. I'm flabbergasted, to say the least. I can't believe this actually worked. I just, for some reason, thought it just wasn't going to work, because every time I try to do stuff like this, it just is a complete flop. I just can't really believe it. Now I have to wait an hour before I can try it, but it looks nice. I just can't really believe that it worked. I think maybe I should have scored it a little bit deeper, but I am so happy. I am so happy right now. I can't even tell you. And you know what? It wasn't hard. That's the most crazy bit. So thanks to FoodBod, I've made some bread. Unbelievable. It's Saturday evening. I'm just going to wrap up the vlog here. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm so glad my loaf of sourdough was a success. I'm just working on my V-stitch blanket a little bit more. It's absolutely flying. It's very, very enjoyable. So until next time, see you.